You've carried the weight of being misunderstood, haven't you? People saw your silence and called it weakness. They saw your distance and labeled it pride. They watched your obedience to God and thought it was rebellion. But deep within, you've known this path was never meant to be understood by everyone. It was meant to be followed by faith. For years you've endured false judgments. You've been blamed for things you didn't do, spoken against for motives you never had, and abandoned by those who once praised your light. But listen closely, this is not the end of your story. Heaven has been watching in silence, and now the silence is breaking. There is a divine announcement echoing through the unseen realm. The truth will speak for you. Yes, the same God who watched you stay humble when others mocked you, the same God who saw you cry in secret when no one came to your defense, that God is now stepping forward to clear your name. This is not about revenge or vindication from people. It's about restoration of your divine reputation in heaven's record. The pain of being misunderstood wasn't random. It was a stage for God's justice to shine. Every misjudgment was a brushstroke on a larger masterpiece. You were not overlooked. You were being preserved. You were not silenced. You were being positioned. And now, as this word reaches you, heaven is saying, the season of quiet accusation has expired. The same mouths that spoke against you will witness your rise. The same hands that pointed in accusation will be forced to acknowledge God's hand upon you. You don't need to fight for explanation. God Himself is about to make it undeniable that you were chosen even when others couldn't see it. So take this message not as coincidence, but as divine confirmation. This is your spiritual verdict. God is clearing your name. Not tomorrow, not someday far away. The process has already begun in the unseen. The spiritual courtroom is in session, and heaven's judge has ruled in your favor. Stay here with me, because as we go deeper, you'll understand why you were misunderstood, how God used it for your purification, and what is about to unfold next. You didn't lose credibility, you gained credibility with heaven. And when heaven speaks, no earthly voice can silence it. There are moments when God allows misunderstanding not as punishment, but as protection. Sometimes He hides your true intention from the wrong eyes, because premature recognition can become premature destruction. The Father saw what you could not, that if certain people understood the depth of your calling, they would have tried to manipulate or destroy it. This message comes not from the voice of man, but from the Spirit of the living God. You didn't stumble upon these words by accident. The timing of this encounter is prophetic. Heaven scheduled it for this exact moment because the scales of justice in the Spirit are shifting in your favor. When God gives a word like this, it is not simply encouragement, it is activation. Every phrase, every sentence, every breath of this message carries divine energy. The Spirit says, you have been hidden long enough. The time of unveiling has come. You see, the misunderstanding you endured served a higher purpose. It separated you from those who could not go where you are going. It refined your motives, teaching you to do good even when no one thanked you. It taught you the secret strength of silence, the power to let God speak when you no longer could. Every accusation against you has a divine expiration date, and you are now standing at the threshold of vindication. The angels who once watched you cry have now been dispatched as witnesses to your restoration. Heaven is not indifferent to your pain. Heaven has been preparing your stage. The Father says, while they whispered about you, I was writing your redemption. While they questioned your heart, I was confirming your anointing. While they misread your actions, I was aligning your destiny. This message carries a decree. The misunderstood shall now be magnified, not for ego, but for evidence that God exalts the humble and defends the righteous. So as you listen, open your spirit. Don't resist the process. Don't replay the pain. Let this word wash through your soul. The very atmosphere around you, will begin to shift as your spirit agrees with heaven's verdict. You are not defined by their perception. You are defined by God's declaration. In the next moments, I'll reveal what's been happening behind the scenes. The spiritual reason you were misunderstood, and how God has already been working to restore what you thought you lost. Stay still, beloved. The truth is about to rise like the dawn. The Spirit of the Lord says, "The ones who misunderstood you were never meant to understand you, because I concealed your truth until the appointed time." You were walking through a divine disguise. God had hidden your true identity beneath layers of pain, humility, and silence, so that only those led by His Spirit could discern who you truly were. That is why so many got it wrong. This was your wilderness season, a place where voices echoed against you, but heaven remained quiet. But the quiet was not absence, it was observation. While they accused, God recorded. While they gossiped, God prepared. While they withdrew, God surrounded. You felt forgotten, but the truth is, you were being formed. You were not losing influence, you were gaining authority. Heaven has seen the loneliness of your obedience. The nights you prayed for clarity, but heard nothing. The tears that fell while you whispered, "Lord, please vindicate me, but let me stay humble." And now the Father responds, "My child, the time of silent endurance is complete. You have passed the test of misjudgment. You have proven that your faith is not dependent on applause, and now I will display your faithfulness before all." The prophecy is clear. God Himself is clearing your name. A shift is taking place in the Spirit. The same spiritual forces that once distorted how others saw you are being dismantled. The fog of confusion is lifting. People who once believed lies about you will suddenly feel a stirring in their spirit to make things right, not because you explained yourself, but because God intervened. There will be divine reversals, sudden turnarounds in relationships, workplaces, and communities. Opportunities that were closed because of rumors or misunderstandings will reopen. Your reputation, which was dragged through shadows, will be restored in light. And here is the divine irony. The misunderstanding was the very key that unlocked your separation for elevation. Had they not rejected you, you would have remained where you were not meant to stay. Had they not misjudged you, you would not have been forced to rely so deeply on God. Everything that once broke your heart is now becoming the evidence of your spiritual maturity. The pain has positioned you. The silence has sanctified you. The misunderstanding has marked you as chosen. Soon testimonies will emerge, people saying, "I see now what I couldn't see before." Even those who never apologize will silently honor what God has done through you. Because when God clears your name, He doesn't need to use human defense. He shifts spiritual perception. He adjusts the lens through which others see you. And in this unveiling, there will be no bitterness, no arrogance, no revenge, only radiant grace. For your vindication will not look like their downfall. It will look like your elevation. What you went through wasn't just a misunderstanding. It was a divine filtration. God allowed certain people to misinterpret your silence so your spirit could be purified from the need to be seen, understood, or approved. Because when you are called to divine purpose, the applause of men becomes too small a sound to define you. The misunderstanding was the furnace that burned away your attachment to human validation. It was never about who turned against you. It was about what God was turning within you. Every misjudgment shaped a deeper humility. Every rejection carved a stronger faith. There's a hidden principle in the kingdom before God reveals your anointing. He allows it to be misread. Why? Because only through the tension of being unseen can purity be proven. You see, oil is not extracted without pressure. Diamonds don't form without darkness. And truth, your truth, does not shine until it's surrounded by misunderstanding. Heaven was training you to hold your peace while others spoke falsely. Heaven was teaching you how to trust the unseen hand when visible evidence didn't defend you. Every false accusation became a rehearsal for elevation. You have to understand this when you are chosen. Your name is never just a label. It becomes a battlefield. That's why people attacked your name. Your reputation was the surface of a spiritual war. The enemy knew he couldn't stop your calling, so he tried to stain your credibility. But what he didn't realize is that when God restores a name, he doesn't just clean it, he crowns it. The spiritual meaning runs deeper this season was designed to train your discernment. You learned who clapped for your image, but never cared for your soul. You learned that loyalty is not proven in good times, but in silence and absence. You learned that your peace is not dependent on public approval, but on divine awareness. And now you walk differently. You speak less, but with more power. You move slower, but with more precision. Because the misunderstanding stripped away the unnecessary. It refined your vision, clarified your purpose, and anchored your faith. This is the mystery God often hides his most precious vessels under false perception, so they can be developed away from the noise. You were hidden not because you were unworthy, but because you were holy. And when God hides you, he is not punishing you. He is protecting his investment in you. So when you look back, don't see pain, see process. Don't see rejection, see redirection. Don't see false accusation, see divine preparation. The misunderstanding was never meant to end your story. It was meant to edit it. And now as this word unfolds, heaven wants you to know everything that was said about you, twisted about you, and believed about you is being reversed in the spirit realm. God is not just clearing your name, he's rewriting how people perceive you. Your story will be retold by his glory. You'll begin to notice the atmosphere shifting around you. The signs will not always be loud, but they will be unmistakable, gentle confirmations that heaven is moving on your behalf. The first sign, peace will replace defense. Where you once felt the urge to explain yourself, you'll suddenly feel no need to. You'll sense a divine calm, the kind that says, God's already handled it. That peace itself is proof that heaven has taken your case. The second sign, conversations will change. People who once avoided you will reappear not to apologize directly, but to re-engage. Some will say, I don't know why, but I just felt led to reach out. That is not coincidence, that is conviction. The third sign, hidden truth will surface. You may hear someone confess a rumor they once believed or see evidence come to light that proves your integrity. It won't come from your effort, but from divine orchestration. The fourth sign, doors will reopen. Projects, positions, or relationships that were blocked during the misunderstanding will suddenly reawaken. This is God's way of saying, I never closed it. I was just timing it. The fifth sign, your spirit will lighten. There will be a noticeable lift in your emotional weight. The heaviness that once sat on your chest will lift without explanation, because the verdict in heaven has shifted and your soul can feel it. And finally, the sixth sign, new favor will find you. It will not be earned. It will be assigned. The same circles that once doubted you will now look to you for guidance. God will turn curiosity into confirmation. These are not fantasies. They are fingerprints of divine justice. You don't have to chase them. You simply have to notice them. When you see them, whisper, it is done. For each sign is heaven's way of saying your name is being redeemed. Before the full restoration manifests, there will still be moments of testing. Not to punish you, but to prove that your heart has been healed from needing human validation. The first challenge will be restraint. When opportunities arise to set the record straight, your flesh will want to speak, but your spirit will say, be still. Let God be your defender. You no longer need to explain what heaven has already confirmed. The second challenge will be humility in recognition. When favor starts to find you again, pride will try to whisper, "See now, they need you." But don't entertain it. Remember, your elevation is not revenge, it's redemption. The third challenge will be forgiveness. You'll be tempted to replay old memories, to recall every unfair word. But forgiveness will be the key that keeps your name clean in heaven's record. Don't let bitterness stain what God just polished. The fourth challenge will be patience. Some who wronged you may never apologize. Some may still misunderstand. And yet you must walk in peace, knowing that validation from God outweighs applause from man. Every challenge is another layer of refinement. You're not just being restored, you're being reborn. And only those who have walked through injustice can carry the mantle of compassion you now hold. These tests are the final stage before manifestation. And if you stay faithful through them, you'll realize that your vindication was never about people. It was about your purification. Now that the spiritual courtroom has ruled in your favor, there are instructions you must follow to walk in alignment with your vindication. Instruction 1. Stay silent in victory. Let your transformation speak louder than your explanations. Those who once doubted you will see the fruit of your endurance. You won't need to announce your restoration, your life will become the announcement. Instruction 2. Keep your heart pure. Do not let the past make you suspicious of future connections. New people are coming, and not everyone carries the same spirit as the old. Ask God for discernment, not walls, but wisdom. Instruction 3. Journal your journey. Write down how God reversed things for you. This will become your testimony and your future reminder when new storms arise. Your written record becomes your weapon against forgetfulness. Instruction 4. Bless, don't expose. Even those who hurt you are still in God's hands. Pray for them. Speak well of them. This will unlock new realms of grace. The kingdom responds to mercy more than malice. Instruction 5. Rebuild quietly. You don't need to shout about your next move. The same God who defended you in silence will promote you in silence. Let your actions declare your restoration. And finally, Instruction 6. Stay close to the presence, because once God clears your name, new assignments follow. The same light that exposes truth also attracts attention, both divine and human. Only intimacy with God will protect you from pride and distraction. These divine steps are not burdens. They are blessings disguised as boundaries. Follow them with reverence, and you'll find peace flowing effortlessly again. The misunderstood version of you has died. The refined version is arising. Heaven wants you to rest in this truth. You are protected. No weapon formed against your name will prosper, and no tongue that rises against you will stand. God has stationed angels of vindication around you, not to fight in the physical, but to maintain spiritual clarity. They are clearing the fog that once surrounded your image, restoring honor. Where shame tried to linger, you will feel covered in a peace that surpasses understanding. Even when rumors try to resurface, they will fall flat. Because this time heaven has sealed your reputation under divine protection. And in this new covering, you'll walk differently, lighter, freer, radiant. Because you now understand that protection isn't always about being hidden. Sometimes it's about being seen with grace. You are walking into a season where people will recognize God's hand before they recognize your history. That's what divine covering does. It reframes your presence in the eyes of the world. So rest. You are safe in His shadow. The story has turned, and your peace is the proof. You're standing on the edge of a divine turnaround. The same story that once carried shame is becoming your signature of strength. The misunderstood one is becoming the messenger. You'll notice how your voice begins to carry new authority. Your words will pierce hearts not because of eloquence, but because of authenticity born from pain. Those who once questioned your worth will now seek your wisdom. God is transforming your testimony into a tool for healing others. The scars that once embarrassed you will now shine as evidence of divine intervention. People will say, "There's something different about you," and they'll be right. Your spirit has matured, your purpose has expanded, and your light has intensified. This is the fulfillment of a season where misunderstanding became your refining fire. You'll walk with peace, not proof. You'll move with grace, not grudge. You'll carry presence, not pretense. The misunderstood version of you was necessary. It birthed the authentic you. And now, your name carries weight in the spirit realm. Heaven trusts you with visibility because you no longer crave validation. This is your divine reward. Clarity, credibility, and calling. All restored, all multiplied. Now take a deep breath and let these words sink into your spirit. Repeat them with faith and authority. Affirmation 1. God is clearing my name, and no lie can stand against His truth. Affirmation 2. I release the need to be understood. Heaven already knows my heart. Affirmation 3. What was meant for my shame has become the stage for my testimony. Affirmation 4. Peace is my proof. Vindication is my portion. Let these affirmations echo through your days like anchors of peace. You don't need to prove who you are. Your fruit will speak. Your peace will speak. Your presence will speak. Now may the God of truth surround you with light. May every shadow of misunderstanding dissolve in His presence. May favor return multiplied, and may every false word spoken against you be turned into a blessing on your behalf. Walk in this assurance your story has shifted. Heaven has spoken. The verdict is final. Your name is clean. Your peace is restored. Your destiny is advancing. In the name of the one who redeems, restores, and reveals, it is done.